You train hard every week. You show up consistently. You eat protein every day. You think you're doing everything right, but your body doesn't change. Your muscle barely grows. Your strength feels stuck, and you don't know why. I've been there too, for years actually. You're not lazy. You're not lacking discipline. You're activating the wrong biology. That's the real problem. There are specific mistakes, and they silently block your growth. Not one mistake, 8 of them. I made every single one, and it cost me years. You stop when it starts to burn, when it gets uncomfortable. You think that's enough, but it's not even close. Muscle doesn't grow there. Growth lives near your limit. Your body recruits muscle fibers gradually, not all at once. Low effort means low recruitment. Only easy fibers are working. The powerful fibers stay inactive. They never get the signal. Those are high-threshold motor units. They drive real growth. If they aren't recruited, hypertrophy doesn't start. So what happens? You train, but nothing changes. Because the signal is too weak. Your body has no reason to adapt. Muscle only grows near failure, not far from it. Not absolute failure, but close enough to it. 1 to 3 reps left. That's the real zone. That's where growth begins. Everything before that is warm-up. So what do most people do? They add more volume, more sets, more reps, more time in the gym, but still no results. Volume feels productive, but it can be misleading. You avoid intensity, so you compensate with quantity. But low tension stays low tension. No matter how many sets you add, your muscles still don't get the signal. They don't need to grow. So you work harder, but not smarter. You feel exhausted, but biologically, nothing changed. You're doing more work, not more effective work. Now here's where it gets tricky. Recovery is not what you think. You feel fine the next day, so you train again. No soreness, no pain. You assume you're recovered, but you're not. Muscle is only one system. Your body has many layers. Muscle recovers relatively fast, usually within a couple days, but tendons recover slower. They adapt much more gradually. Your nervous system is even slower. It takes several days. Hormones also need time. They don't reset instantly. Here's the key signal. Most people miss this. Your muscles stop being sore, but your strength stays stuck. You lift the same weight. You don't progress. That's not coincidence. That's your nervous system. It's still fatigued, still not fully recovered. So what happens next? You train again anyway. Your output drops. Your performance stalls. No progression, no overload. And without progression, there is no growth. Soreness lies to you. Performance tells the truth. Now it gets worse. You push even harder. More sessions, more intensity. You think more equals better, but your body disagrees. Stress keeps accumulating, day after day. Your body responds hormonally, and not in your favor. Cortisol starts rising. This is your stress hormone. Short term, it's normal, but chronically elevated, it's destructive. It increases protein breakdown. That's the opposite of growth. It reduces recovery capacity. Your body repairs slower. Now your system flips from anabolic to catabolic. You are not building muscle anymore, you're losing it. Even while training harder. That's the paradox. You're breaking muscle faster than you rebuild it. Now let's talk about food. This is where most people get confused. You think food builds muscle, but that's incomplete. Hormones decide everything. They control where nutrients go. Let's start with carbs and insulin. Carbs increase blood glucose. That triggers insulin. Insulin helps nutrients enter cells. That's a good thing. It supports anabolic signaling. It helps muscle growth. But here's the problem. Context matters. When insulin stays high constantly, things start to change. Your cells become less sensitive. This is called insulin resistance. Now nutrients are handled differently. Less goes to muscle. More gets stored as fat, especially around your midsection. So the same hormone starts working against you. It depends on how you use it, not just that it exists. The system shifts slowly, but the result is clear. More fat gain, less lean growth. Now another hidden issue, metabolic flexibility. Most people don't understand this, but it changes everything. Your body should switch fuels between glucose and stored energy. That's metabolic flexibility, and it's essential. But constant eating breaks it, especially frequent snacking. Insulin stays elevated all day. There is no reset. Your body never switches modes. It stays in storage mode. Fat burning gets suppressed. Energy regulation becomes inefficient. Hormonal balance gets disrupted. Recovery signaling weakens. You feel tired more often, despite eating more. It's not about eating less. That's not the point. It's about restoring flexibility, your metabolic flexibility. Your body must switch states. That's how it stays efficient. Now, protein timing, a very common obsession. You've heard this before. 30-minute anabolic window. So you rush to eat right after training. But here's the truth. It's overhyped. Muscle protein synthesis depends mostly on total daily intake, not precise timing within minutes. Yes, timing matters slightly, but not that much. As long as protein is sufficient across the day, your body will respond and adapt. But people miss this. They focus on the wrong variable. They stress about timing and ignore total intake. That's backward, and it slows progress. You're optimizing noise, not the signal. Now, the final mistake, and it's very underestimated. Micronutrients, the invisible layer. You focus on protein and carbs, but your cells need more to function properly. Magnesium supports ATP production, your energy system. Without ATP, muscle contraction suffers. Zinc supports hormone production, especially testosterone. Low zinc, lower anabolic signaling. Potassium supports nerve signals from brain to muscle. Without it, contractions weaken. Vitamin D also plays a role in muscle function and recovery. When these are low, performance drops. Recovery slows down. Growth stalls. You think you're training wrong, but it's deeper than that. You don't lack effort. You lack biological support. Now, step back for a second. Look at the full picture. Muscle growth is not one thing. It's a system, a coordinated system with multiple layers. Training creates the signal. That's step 1. Recovery repairs the damage. That's step 2. Hormones regulate the process. That's step 3. Nutrition provides the resources. That's step 4. All 4 must align at the same time. If one fails, everything fails. Perfect training means nothing if recovery is broken. Perfect diet means nothing if hormones are off. Effort alone is not enough. Biology decides results. You don't build muscle by doing more. You build muscle by aligning the system. But here's the truth. You don't need to fix all 8 at once. Start with the one that resonated most, the one you saw yourself in. Now, go back to the beginning. Think about your routine. You trained hard, you stayed consistent, but you followed wrong signals. That's why nothing changed. Not because you're lazy, not because you lack discipline, but because of these mistakes, stacking on each other. You trained too far from failure, no real stimulus. You hid behind volume, without intensity. You ignored recovery systems, especially your nervous system. You pushed into overtraining and chronically elevated cortisol. You misused high glycemic carbs. Insulin worked against you. You lost metabolic flexibility from constant eating with no fasting window. You stressed about timing instead of total protein. You ignored micronutrients, your biological foundation. Fix these and everything changes. Your strength starts moving, your body starts adapting, your system becomes aligned, and growth follows. Automatically, not by force. So be honest. Which mistake are you making? Right now, not last year. Call it out. Comment the number 1 through 8. Don't avoid it. Because awareness is where change begins. Fix the system, not just the workout, and muscle growth becomes automatic.